The other day I show you how I make my noodle balls, and today I'm going to show you how I trim it. And I promise you that I will show you a special tool to trim the ball better and nicer. Here in my previous videos, I always show people how to, before you trim, you need to measure how thick the button is, and it's very inexpensive way to try to measure it. You can find a chopsticks from a Chinese restaurant, and you can make it mark 5 millimeters, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 all the way. And then you find a plastic ruler, and you just drill a hole and so that the chopstick can go through easily. So you are going to measure from the center all the way down to the very center point of the ball, and then you move your chopsticks, and then you measure the outside, and then you subtract it. Okay, so this is a very inexpensive way to do it if you want to do just like I did. It's a very inexpensive way to do it. Now I have designed and actually invented my way of measuring more accurate. Okay, this is the measurement tool that I designed it, and it made out of stainless steel. I cut 2 holes here so that my ruler can insert right into the center. Okay, insert right here. So basically it's the same as the chopsticks, but it's more accurate because I have a ruler here exactly using the millimeters, so I can measure the center point, and then I can measure the outer point, and I just subtract the difference so that I know that's the thickness of the foot. So let's measure here. I don't know if you can see it very clearly. It's about 88 millimeters. And here it's right around 100. So 100 subtract 88 is about 12 millimeters. So that's the measurement that you know exactly how thick the button is. So you have idea how much you can cut. And you don't cut it too thick, you could leave the button too thick, and you don't cut through the button. Okay, lots of people they don't have any idea, and when they trim they cut through the button. So this is the measurement tool that I developed. And let's cut it and see how accurate this measurement tool is. So I'm going to use a knife, very sharp knife. So I cut a corner so that you will be able to see it. So this is about the bottom, that's the thickness And actually, if you use the ruler to measure it, okay, it's about 12 millimeters. So it's exactly what I just measured. Okay, so to show you the measurement tool, okay, this is the corner, so you will be able to see it. Place my tool here, place right in the center. Okay, here I have another one I can show you. Okay, so you will be able to see it. So 100 and that's 88. So you minus that, so it comes to 12 millimeters. So once you have the idea how thick the base is, and then you can trim accordingly. You can remove some clay off. Okay, so that's the trimming tool. Now, this is the one that I did it exactly the other day, and I like to trim this one to show you. First I need to measure it. Not quite yet 97 from the center. 113 minus 97, so it comes to about 16 millimeters. Okay, so keep that in mind. 16 millimeters. Right, now I'm ready to trim it. Just use water to stick my bowl on the wheel head on top of it, and tap center it. So you try to move it. It's not movable, so you know that the clay is sticking on it. People ask me how can they do it this way, just using water. Actually, if you want to do this way, the same way I do, make sure you learn how to tap center, because when you brush some water there, if you try to just using your hand to move it, sometimes it takes too long and the water gets too dry already. So to learn how to tap center, that way you can stick your clay, your pot on the wheel head in time. Okay, so this is my number 2 trimming tool. Okay, and I usually like to make it sharp. Okay, sharpen it before I trim. So I have a little bit idea of 16 millimeters on my bottom, so I can remove some more clay. And my goal of trimming to the right thickness of the foot, okay, the base, it's within 3 millimeters. I like to trim within 3 millimeters of the bottom. And I usually like to first get to the right size, the right width of the foot. Right now, I'm ready to cut the excess clay off. Usually I use the corner of my trimming tool to draw a mark here. So this will be my foot ring. And then I know that the middle of the clay I can remove it. For 60 millimeters thickness, I want to remove within 3 millimeters, so I know that I can go about 30 millimeters deep. And if you are not quite sure what the 30 millimeters is, and you can put that measurement tool back here and you measure it. Okay, so now it's about 8 millimeters, so I know I still have a 5 more millimeters to go. Okay, and for professional potter, they don't usually depending on that measurement. But if you try to learn the tapping the sound of the foot to know when to stop, and this is a very good tool to do that too, because you know exactly now it's 5 millimeters, sounds like this, now 4 millimeters sounds like that, and 3 or 2 millimeters that sounds. So you can remember the sound, so later on you don't need to depend on the ruler to measure it. You can just by simply tapping on the bass to know when to stop. Okay, let's double check it. Okay, so I have 2 more millimeters to go. So I will just stop right here, and I don't know if you know about the sound, but that's the judgment that according to the measurement that this is about within 3 millimeters thick on the base here. And so when I'm trimming, I usually trim to about the right thickness here, and from there I judge the outside part and the inside part should be almost the same level. So if the outside part is a little bit higher, now this is going to be the guide for how much clay I can remove from the outside. So almost the same level, outside and inside. So now I can refine it. And I can remove more clay. And the good thing of putting the clay here, the pot here, just using the water, is that when I'm trimming, I can trim all the way without the clay coil in the way. I can trim all the way down to the bottom. And usually the very final cutting, I would speed up my wheel, and move my tool very slowly, so the surface will be very smooth. Just use the back of my trimming tool to compress, burnish the foot. Okay. Maybe I would like to put some chattering mark right around this area. So for doing the chattering, actually I'm using my number 1 trimming tools. See that the length is a little bit different. The chattering number 1 tool is a little bit longer, so it helps the blade to bounce. Okay. So chattering, I hold my tool this way, and using this tool to cut it. I spin my wheel fast. Okay, about 1/3 of that end. So now I stop the wheel, and you can see that chattering mark. And I usually like to draw a little, maybe 2 lines here to define the chattering mark. Okay, so that's the trimming. So put in my stamp. To save some time for my signature. So this piece is done, and can just spin the wheel and then just push away. That's the ball, the noodle ball. You can see the chattering mark here on the foot. Okay, hope this helped. And if you want to buy my measuring tool, I have it listed on my Etsy shop, etsy.com, under my name. And this is the new tool I invented, and it's very good learning tool for, especially for you are not sure how thick the button should be. This is the good tool to do that. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching.